prison in the state of California. That means it predates Alcatraz and has lasted a lot longer than it. And so keep that in mind when you think about dangerous and significant prisons. There are various reasons that this prison was and is dangerous. First and foremost, for a long time, it would carry out executions of prisoners in a variety of ways, including having its own gas chamber. This isn't something that is used nowadays, thankfully, but it was used at one time. Like many other prisons, they use lethal injections to execute prisoners, but they haven't done that since 2006. So why is it still dangerous today? That would be because of the conditions and the violence. Due to its age, the prison isn't exactly a perfect model of efficiency and safety. So much violence is regularly known to happen here. In one case in 2006, a racially motivated incident happened that resulted in over 100 inmates getting hurt and 2 people dying in the fight. In 2005, reports stated that it's dangerous to house people there.
Nanghiram ako ng 10,000 dito upang magbayad ng bill ng kuryente ngayong buwan. Walang hati.
The danger can further be proven via the museum that is a part of the prison that shows that various items and weapons from over the years that the inmates have made to try and kill each other. This includes spears, guns made of plumbing parts, and more. Do you know anyone who has served time in prison? Have you yourself maybe ever been incarcerated? Was it dangerous? Did you witness any fights or riots? Or was it mostly orderly? Let me know how you feel about prisons in general in the comments below. And then be sure to subscribe for more impressive videos like this one. You don't want to miss them. Number 8. Bangkwang Prison. If you were to ask for the nickname of Bangkwang Prison, you would be told it's the Bangkok Hilton. This would obviously lead you to believe that the place was a relatively nice prison with fair accommodations and fair treatment of its inmates, but you would be very wrong in that regard. The prison is known for the routine torture of its inmates. Inmates are crammed into small cells, and death row inmates are often given as little as 2 hours' notice before they're dragged off to their execution, but that's not all. All prisoners are required to wear long irons for the first 3 months of their sentences. Death row inmates were required to have their leg irons permanently welded on, although this practice ended in 2013, thankfully. When you add all of that up, you get a prison that no one in their right minds would want to go to. Because if you do, you might not get back out. In fact, one UK prisoner served 17 years there before being pardoned by the king. When he did, he described his experience as hell. Most prisons wouldn't get that moniker, but Bangkwang Prison clearly does. Number 7. Rikers Island. Easily one of the most famous prisons in the world that is still in use today, Rikers Island Prison is located off New York and between the Bronx and Queens. The legacy that this prison has gotten led to it being referenced or used as a plot point in various TV shows and movies based in New York. That being said, its legacy is not for the faint of heart. Why? Because its history and legacy are marked with excessive violence. But not just violence between inmates, but the violence that the guards would inflict on inmates as well. This obviously would cause retaliation to happen, and the cycle continues. In May of 2013, Rikers Island ranked as one of the 10 worst correctional facilities in the United States, based on reporting in Mother Jones magazine. The violence that would happen there was legendary in the worst way possible, not the least of which was because it would be done with approval at times from the local police and the New York State government. Of course, this type of mistreatment is obviously a human rights violation, and eventually there were strict rules put in place to try and limit the violence against both inmates and staff. And there was some success in getting stabbing incidents to go from about 1,000 a year down to 70. However, the violence in the facility is still going strong. Thus, prisoners honestly try and do a lot to not go to Rikers, because they know they won't have a chance of survival in there in most cases. Number 6. ADX Florence Supermax Facility. There are certain facilities in the world that are designed to hold the worst criminals that humanity has to offer, and one of them is the ADX Florence Supermax Facility in Colorado. While that may sound like a good idea, given that sometimes there are prisoners who need to be under constant surveillance, there are limits to what one should do there. For example, ADX Florence Supermax Facility apparently keeps many of its inmates apparently a hierarchy in the prison, like what you see in various TV shows and movies. To that extent, those who have power are able to lord it over others, while those who don't have power aren't able to do much at all, and live in the worst conditions possible. It's a true dystopian situation, with powerful and vicious leaders who can do as they please to the weaker inmates. As for attempts to escape, many have been made, but only 3 have ever been successful. The best way to escape this miserable prison is to not get sentenced there in the first place. Number 4, DR Backer Prison. When you have a prison that's been dubbed inhumane by pundits, you know you're doing something wrong. This is the case with the famous and disturbing prison in Turkey, where inmates have their spirits broken and people experience violence every day. One of the dark spots of the prison's past for which it has been known is incarcerating children for lifelong sentences. This is horrifying no matter who you are. That a child would serve a life sentence for something that was likely very small is terrible. And a life sentence at a place like this might end up being very short, what with the disgusting and inhumane conditions of the prison. Furthermore, those who run the prison are corrupt. They're known to beat down prisoners for virtually any reason. This is so extreme that in one case both police and guards